Up Hexicans and Pulsinators, welcome back to another video. It really feels like Pulsechain is close. A bullish Godzilla pattern spotted on the Hex daily chart. This is the most rare pattern in all of price charting. This is an extremely bullish Godzilla. Look at this thing, it's 6 feet tall. Just kidding, but in all seriousness, Pulsechain updates. Richard Hart posted this. Great Pulsechain news. Devs beat the bug and got stage 9 complete in Pulse Aragon. This means it's likely that the remaining metadata generating stages will complete as well. All clients are testing well now. The tool is being prepared for the V3 testnet launch. This is the last hump, the last obstacle before mainnet. And then he put a screenshot where you can actually see evidence of when the bug was fixed. Okay, very interesting stuff. Scratching my head over all this talk of a 90% Pulse and PulseX dip after launch. I don't see this being even remotely possible. Anyone else? So I'd been seeing this around the Hex community on Twitter. Comment below your thoughts on this. Do you guys think the price is going to dump significantly on launch? This happens with a lot of projects. It doesn't mean the project's bad, but when you think about people that have been waiting for 2 years, a lot of people are starting to doubt the success of the project. I'm not personally, right? I'm still as bullish as I was 2 years ago. But some people haven't really done their research and they aren't as informed and they're getting impatient. Keep in mind, guys, the guy that sacrificed 30 million for PulseX or Pulsechain, well, I forget which one, but they have a 2.5x volume bonus, right? So they're getting more than double the tokens of the majority. And these whales like to play games, and who knows what they will do, but a dip could totally be possible. You just have to look at that as a good long-term buying opportunity. In the long run, 6 months, 12 months into Pulsechain's tenure, you're not going to be worried about the dip from launch. I don't think it'll stay underneath the sacrifice rate for too long. Some quick price analysis, guys. I think this is significant. Here's the Hex weekly chart. All right, we have a downtrend from September 2021, almost 2 years ago. And why I find this significant is Hex has just smashed through this. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's from all of the updates coming out on Pulsechain, as well as Bitcoin had a little bit of a relief rally in these past 2 months. Bitcoin went green in January, it went green in February. The first time Bitcoin has had 2 consecutive green months in a while. So that definitely played a role too, but Pulsechain is definitely affecting this. Now, what's interesting is there's a tool called a trend-based Fibonacci extension. Fibonacci numbers are beautiful. You see them through nature, through mathematics. We can use the initial impulse of Hex from its launch, the 50 cents, to what looks like the bottom at 1.7 pennies. And it gives us areas of confluence where we could hit resistance and where we could end up in the future. In crypto, can surpass these upper barriers. In equities and traditional markets, it's very rare to surpass the 2.23 fib extension. But in crypto, in the past 2 years in the crazy bull market, I saw many tokens break through these. So the upper bound of this next bull run would be $2.20 Hex. That'd be a nice 20x, 30x from these price points. No, more than that, sorry. So in the short term, where are we going? It's probably going to be around 13 cent Hex. Now that could take a few weeks. It could take a few days with how we've been ripping. But after breaking 7 pennies, there's really no reason why we can't go to 13, 12 cents. All right, exciting stuff. If you guys are excited for Pulsechain, comment below your prediction. Is it going to be 10 days till launch? Is it going to be 3 years till launch? Is it going to be 3 months? Let me know your thoughts on Pulsechain time frame for launch. Comment section below. Now for some gems from Richard Hart.
Things you mentioned is that with Bitcoin, we don't print money out of thin air because we're mining it, deflationary currency, limited
Oh, no.
supply,
One, it's not. No, none of what you said is true. That's all entirely false. Bitcoin is not deflationary at all. It is inflationary. Miners sell Bitcoin. They harm the price. They buy electricity and mining hardware. So Bitcoin's all about decentralization. But in fact, there's only 5 or 6 mining pools that do all of the mining. And there's only 3 or 4 companies that make all of the mining hardware. And those are the people that make all of the money from the mining, because the economic theory that the cost or resources allocated to extract a resource will trend towards and approach asymptotically the value of the resource. And so as the Bitcoin price ratchets up, the wasting and destroying of the environment with electricity, which you could say Bitcoin's 80% renewable, fine. I used to be a Bitcoin miner. I know exactly how much I paid for my electricity, and I know exactly how much pollution it generated. It wasn't clean energy. So, and then the idea that a decreasing inflation rate is somehow deflation is hilarious. You're getting less inflation over time, but the value dollar cost of that inflation is higher and higher because the price keeps ratcheting up because they keep on-ramping new users. So people
Now,
always, you get this backwards. You described a cost and a negative externality, which is bad for everybody, bad for the environment, bad for the price, but you think that it's actually a benefit. And so you got to know the difference between a feature, a benefit, and a cost. And Bitcoin mining is a cost that's bad for everybody, and you don't need it anymore. There's tons of proof of stake networks for years, and they've all been less attacked and more secure than proof of work networks.
And that's one of the big arguments that Bitcoin maximalists will have, is that Bitcoin is much more secure. And that is why we have proof of work. Though in the future, once we've mined
less
all
secure.
coins, we expect a transition. What I'm curious, though, for the difference in Hex is that Hex is a proof of stake coin.
Nope.
And we do have a set inflation rate. I believe it's 3.69%. Can you tell me why have any inflation at all then if you're opposed to the mining style inflation in Bitcoin? Because you're essentially saying, hey, the cost of the shovels are going up, so it's becoming more expensive to actually operate the network rather than less expensive, which creates more waste. That's your argument. Why have any inflation then in the Hex coin?
I think we've hit the uncanny valley. So it's like Dunning-Kruger for smart people. Cryptocurrency and trading are two things that have very high skill caps, and then like 130 IQ guys figure that they're good at everything else, so they'll be good at this. But in reality, they're just good enough to be dangerous. So let me clarify some things. First of all, Hex is not proof of stake. It is a hybrid proof of stake, proof of work. We use proof of work on the Ethereum network for transactions, and we use proof of stake just for inflation. Because of that, it's more secure than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's had 2 inflation bugs where anyone could mint as many free coins as they want. One of them was executed on the network in 2010, and they had to roll the chain back because someone minted 184 billion extra free Bitcoin. The same bug, created in a different way, reappeared 2 years ago and was discovered, instead of being exploited, by a Bitcoin Cash developer and responsibly disclosed to the Bitcoin core development team. He could have minted as many free Bitcoin as he wanted as well. And why do we keep getting inflation bugs in Bitcoin? Because it is spaghetti code that is not modular, that has no security audits, that has no written spec, and the wallet code touches the consensus code, touches the networking code. So when you try and improve the network, oopsie, you introduce an inflation bug. It's the most common and vile bug in all of cryptocurrency. XLM has had an inflation bug. Hacker dumped it on the market. Ravencoin had a 10% inflation bug. Hacker dumped it on the market. Bytecoin, Monero, inflation bugs. AVAX, inflation bug. Bitcoin, inflation bugs. You know how you solve inflation bugs? You lock your consensus code in a contract that can never be edited or changed, which is what Hex has done, so that you can improve the network all you want and you don't accidentally introduce an inflation bug. Bitcoin.org was hacked 2 months ago.
And to drop.
Yeah,
So
but
what's
you
Hex
don't
gonna
get
look
those.
like in 5 years.
I can tell you what it's designed to look like. I don't know what it will look
Yeah,
like.
what is it designed? What do you want it to look like?
So currencies go up because more people are buying than selling. They go up easier if there's a bullshit reason that people barely understand. So every Ponzi scheme that comes out, the bullshit reason they give you is arbitrage. BitConnect was arbitrage. You give us your real Bitcoin, we give you a shit coin that isn't worth anything anywhere and isn't traded anywhere. And then we give you this fake bot that pretends to make profit by doing arbitrage, which is a fancy word that you can't understand for some reason. And then, we take money from people and we take new money in and we give it to the old people. We take new money in, we give it to the old people. But then we gave the old people so much money that there ain't none left to give them. And then you got to collapse. That's what a Ponzi is. So a Ponzi is when you make promises to make returns on investments that you can't possibly make, and then you run out of money paying those, and you have to just exit scam when you decide to break the promise. Is how that works, right? It's different from a pyramid. A pyramid operates by putting the maximum number or an absurdly large number of counterparties in the middle of the end user and the product or service. So here's your end user,
Here's your product or service. And then here's a bunch of fucking leeches that just fucking sit there and want paid forever because they introduced you guys. That's not an efficient business model. So that's the reason pyramids suck, because a bunch of assholes just sit around doing nothing, making money off of people that they introduced a very long time ago, right? That'd be like someone introducing you to your girlfriend and expecting a blowjob every once in a while. Yo, man, I introduced you to her, you know? Like, it's just fair, right? You're in my matrix. You're in my pyramid. You're my downline.
I get 10% of that shit.
Right.
I get 10% of that ass every month.
I'm going to need 4 pumps.
It all comes back to ejaculating with you, it seems.
I'm very focused.
Counting the ejaculations.
You'll see, man.
Richard Hart counts your ejaculations.
It may be no
$10,
net
please.
November, but soon it'll be December for you boys. So like so that's the pyramid and a Ponzi have different properties. You can combine them, but they're different attributes. Now, what most people are calling pyramids and what most people are calling bubbles, what most people are calling pyramids and Ponzi's are really just bubbles, okay? Amazon stock went down and then went straight down right after. Everybody wrecked, except me. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. People to listen to me. Can you imagine being able to sell the top and then buy a dip in Hex? Oh my God, what a privilege that would be, right? Like, what a wonderful thing. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So what else do we got going on here? So this is, I'm explaining to you why. Now, by the way, how important was the demand that Grayscale generated? Massively important. They make $200 million a year in fees. In fees. Their 2% override that they charge in fees just to hold everybody else's money, they make over $200 million a year. They might make $600 million a year. There's a lot of money in that ecosystem. And so when that disappears and all your institutional demand, now look at the institutional guys. The institutional guys, they're stuck, right? They're stuck. They have to decide, well, do I want to buy 30% off discounted Grayscale Bitcoin? Or do I want to buy spot Bitcoin and pay 50% more? Because that's the math. If you save a third, it's the same as paying 50% more. Then we do the math for you. Something's $100, you get a third discount. It drops to $67. Or you could, really? Is this how hard it is to do math on stream? Now, if you've got a $67 thing, and instead you have to pay $100, that's a 50% increase, because 37 is half of 33 is half of 67. So you could either getting a third off is the same as not having to pay 50% more. Is how that math works. So like, yeah, Bitcoin's doomed, and you're going to continue to see Bitcoin go down as long as that discount exists. Because why would institutional guys that don't have a choice anyway and have to buy that stuff anyway find some way to go pay 50% more instead of just taking the third discount? They wouldn't. And so they keep selling it down. And unfortunately, Ethereum is exactly tied with Bitcoin. And it's actually overperforming a little bit to the downside. A little bit. Like a tiny bit. So let's go look at some charts real quick. But Bitcoin's had 2 inflation bugs. Hex is more secure than any of those coins. Period. And people just pretend like it's not happening. No, Hex is more secure than Bitcoin. Obviously more secure, and has never had any of the vulnerabilities that Bitcoin's had. And Bitcoin's had many. And our price chart murders theirs. We were up 750x versus Bitcoin had you bought January 1st of 2020, or January 5th, and now we're up 250x. It's like a giant bull flag and then another giant bull flag. How can we win harder? We won the price, we won the performance, we won the features, we won the domain name. When Bitcoin.org was hacked and posted a scam on the main Bitcoin website, did Satoshi come and do an emergency live stream to save the Bitcoin users? No, because he abandoned you. I did an emergency live stream to save Bitcoiners. Me. When's the last time Satoshi gave you free coins? I gave Bitcoiners free coins. I'm a god in this space, and I demand my respect.
So this all comes down to kind of like LeBron James just demanding his respect.
I demand it. I will have it. You can get it the nice way, or you can get it the not nice way.
Well, hold on, Richard. Honestly, you don't really have to go like from my standpoint. You don't really have to go about it this way in order to go ahead and get attention or respect. Like,
dog, but you do though. Yeah, you do. I tried it the other way.
But hold on,
I did it the other way.
Who are you trying to get attention?
I'm
with?
trying to save all these people, man. There's people out there
I
to say
get that.
Bitcoin's
No,
unconfiscatable, but the U.S.
That's
government's auctioning it off all the time. It's a lie. There's people that say Bitcoin's never been hacked. It's a lie. There's people that say Bitcoin's the most secure network in the world. It's a lie. I'm sick of people lying.
If you want to take that argument, everything in its infancy has somehow, some way been.
No,
touched.
9 years ago is not Bitcoin's infancy, bro.
We're still early in this. Like I
What?
hate using that word,
The
but
world's
we're
richest
still
guy bought.
early.
You're still early. What?
We're
What?
still early in this industry. Are we not still early?
No, no, you're not, bro.
What do you mean?
13 years
mean
is
with
not
that?
early, man.
It
Bitcoin
is.
is at
It
the top
is.
of its S curve. It's limp, D, weak, meh, sideways, lame, sucksville. And by the way,
You know,
not only did the world's richest guy buy, but all of his friends bought too. So Michael Saylor bought. All the people he scammed into buying the top bought. Heck, Three Arrows Capital bought with leverage. I called the top. They bought the top. They're wrecked, and I'm God mode. I'm all-time high net worth, and everyone else is because they just couldn't listen to the guy that was smarter than them. I'm smarter than Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor called Bitcoin a scam that was going to fail in 2013, just like online gaming. That's Michael Saylor's tweet that he never deleted. He left it up.
but he also said that Apple was going to be a phenomenal company.
Sure, he made one good call and one bad call, but one cost everyone their life savings. Like, you know, I haven't been watching Michael Saylor for 20 years because I don't like.
But
A lot of people have said nice things about Apple. I don't think he should get too much credit for it.
No, I'm not saying he should get, but I'm just saying he was out there saying like, how can you not look at this? Like,
I
this
saw his
company.
Apple interview. I thought it was nice.
remember
It sounded very intelligent. I like the pricing power argument. I thought that was all great. But unfortunately,
Why can't we have a space for everybody? Why does it have to be this fucking toxicity? Where
because you only have finite capital.
You don't like Bitcoin. Do you like? Hold on.
Bitcoin's
Can I
better
ask you
than the
this
stock
question?
market usually. But like,
Hold on, Rich. Can I ask you an honest question?
Sure.
Big dick aside and all.
yeah.
Can Bitcoin exist with Hex and
Sure.
with Ethereum with X? Then what's
There's
the
people
beef?
that still listen to records and cassette tapes, man. Sure.
Hold on.
There's
Are
people
you-
that use
are
old
you-
technology. Sure.
Are you angry more so with the maxis than you?
They're
are
the
with
worst.
Bitcoin?
The max is the worst. I don't like people that lie. Look, the
But
price
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
is
went
what-
up 690 million%. You don't need to lie about it. It's already good enough. Bitcoin still did, like, from the COVID dip until its high, which took like maybe a year and a half. It still did a 20x. That's not too bad. A 20x in a year and a half. It's not too bad. Ethereum did like a 66 and Hex did like 1,000 or something. But like, you know, it's why
So what
do you want to do your best or do you want to just not do your best? I want to do my best.
Okay,
Bitcoin's
that's
not
fine.
the best at anything.
But that's your opinion, and that's fine.
No, it's
Everybody-
measurable. No, it's measurable.
get-
Do you
okay.
deposit your coins on an exchange, Ethereum or Bitcoin? Which one lets you trade faster? Twice as fast at every exchange. Ethereum.
Well, then I can go ahead and be devil's advocate and say, what about the Lightning Network?
That's not Bitcoin. That has different security
I'm just saying,
developers, different
Because that's the
software,
first thing you're
different
gonna get hit
everything.
with.
No,
You're gonna
but
get
like,
hit with the Lightning Network.
okay.
You know that.
So let's talk. Okay, bro.
Am I right or
like,
wrong?
You're wrong. It's a
Fine.
different. It's just a
Hold on.
different centralized network. It's and
I'm
when it
talking
fails, you beg a different set of centralized entities to please
I'm
issue
not
the
talking
fix.
about myself, Rich. I'm not talking about myself. I'm playing devil's advocate.
No, but like it's like
say
pretending.
that,
It's
but
like
it's
pretending
fine.
that Bitcoin has smart contracts too. Because why not, right? Let's just pretend. Let's pretend there's a bunch of liquidity in Lightning, which there's not. Let's pretend there's stable coins in Bitcoin, which there's not. Let's pretend there's smart contracts, which there's not. Let's pretend there's time deposits, which there's not. They're not even pretending on that one. There's nothing on that garbage, empty crap network that you can only speculate with and serves no other function. It's slow, expensive, with no roadmap, and bug-ridden. It's trash. I don't know why you like it, other than you've owned it for a while and the price went up. But other than that, bro, one time I waited 3 hours for a single confirmation. Might have been 6 hours, actually.
Rich, it's not, for me, it's not about, yes, we're all here for, anybody says that they're not here for generational gains is fucking lying to me, like, period. I don't even want to have the conversation.
There we
about,
go.
I'm
I
not
agree.
here for that.
I
Because,
agree
like,
with
right
you.
Now, you gave me a whole lecture just now on, well, a showcase, I should say. You just showed me like $90,000 sneakers, you know, a $400,000 chain or whatever it is, man. Like, you all got that from generational gains that came from this industry, starting with Bitcoin, right? Being the one that, you know, we can all agree, right?
Is this like a very verbose resting on one's laurels?
No.
Should we like? Is this like watching elderly people box?
No.
I'm not in it for that. I don't care if it used to be cool. I care about now.
It's still, till this day, it's opening up doors all across. I'll even go into Latin America.
Yeah, but you don't got to buy it for it to do that, man.
But it's opening up the doors.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy it or own it for it to do that.
But
Like, go ahead, let it do it.
Well, if you're gonna make it legal tender, you gotta have to buy it.
No, that's just a law. They just pass it. It has nothing to do with the value of the currency. They could have passed that law when Bitcoin was 100 times less valuable. There's no relation.
I understand that, but now people see like, okay, countries see like this could be a way that we can fix our monetary systems. Why not? And then, yeah, if it opens the door up, Rich, hold on, you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy. If it opens up the door, then everybody else can have a chance to come in.
Hey, if all the people that can't take my advice and want to buy the top of the S curve want to buy it, like, go ahead, buy the top of the S curve. If you think it's opening doors, have fun. But we're gonna walk in the door after you and eat your lunch and fuck your girlfriend. Is what we're gonna do.
But
so
it's like, I'll say, you know what?